Good morning, everyone, and congrats on another successful tax season. I just want to say, for those who may have heard this already, we were having a little bit of technical difficulty, so we're just going to start it from the top. So is everybody, hopefully everybody's hearing us okay now. Okay, last week, Phyllis shared details on some tax bill that passed during this session. This morning, I want to take a few minutes to talk about some additional bills that passed during the session. First one we're going to talk about is House Bill 856 and Senate Bill 647. This is the Earned Income Tax Credit for individuals without qualifying children. As you know, one of the requirements to receive the Earned Income Tax Credit is you must be at least 25 years old. This bill in the state of Maryland removes the age requirement in Maryland for those without qualifying children. This bill will come in effect as of July 1st, 2018. The next bill I want to talk about is called the Freeze and Thaw Bill, which is House Bill 710 and Senate Bill 202. Due to the numerous security breaches we all are being affected by, this allows us to put a freeze on our financial information at no cost. As you know, many consumers, when they've done this in the past, have been charged up to $5 to freeze their accounts and another $5 to thaw their account. House Bill 710 and Senate Bill 202 prohibits this fee from being charged, and it also permits you to request a freeze on your account at any time without cause. This bill will come in effect as of October 1st of 2018. The last one I really appreciate as a mom is House Bill 17, Senate Bill 69. In 2016, Maryland required higher education institutions that were not-for-profit to send an annual letter to individuals who are receiving financial aid, which detailed their accrued debt. House Bill 17, Senate Bill 69 expands this requirement to for-profit institutions. Having information like this during the process of your student loans gives an individual a better understanding about the debt they are building. Sadly, this bill does not come in effect until July 1st, 2019, and that is for the for-profits. Now I want to turn the program over to Bill Feehley. Bill has accounting and tax practice in northern Baltimore County with his lovely bride, Donna. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Sandy, and how are you?
Fine, and I'm going to turn it over.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. It's certainly a pleasure to be here with you all today. Hopefully, you all got some needed rest yesterday, even though they did extend the tax season one more day because of the computer problems that the IRS was having. But, life goes on. I don't remember any year when there have been so many changes to the tax law. On December 22nd, the Tax Cut and Jobs Act was signed by the president. Then a lot of the extenders and everything were left out of that. Then when they tried to pass a budget bill in February, they were able to get the extenders back in, so everything had to be redone. And some of the returns that were early file returns are now going to need to be amended if those extenders would have had effect on it. Primarily the ones that would affect you would be the residential energy credit, the mortgage insurance premium, and the education. So I would say that with the new tax bill, somewhere between the 85 and 90% of taxpayers, at least with the clients that I looked at, will come out better this year in 2018 than they did in 17. One of the things that I'm personally am looking forward to is Dave DeJong speaking to the society about the choice of entity at our annual meeting in Ocean City. And that information is going to try to help you to determine which is the best method for your client to who is a corporation, whether they should be an S Corp or a C Corp, or whether they should go LLC route now or be a single member LLC or a sole proprietor. But we all need that information to make that best decision for our clients. not only has it been a busy tax season with all those legislative changes, but it's also been a busy legislative session down in Annapolis. And I want to thank Tom Bray and Phyllis Burlage for all their hard work on helping to keep us informed of what's going on down there. As some of you may be aware, Maryland did not do much to help the taxpayers in this session, with only giving a small increase in the standard deduction and not allowing taxpayers to itemize on Maryland if they take the standard deduction in federal. And since the federal doubled the standard deduction, there's going to be a lot of taxpayers who are not going to be able to itemize. And with not being able to itemize, now they're not going to be able to itemize on Maryland. And thank you to the IRS. Kudos to them for fixing the HSA issue, because our state legislators certainly weren't able to take care of that for us. So now your clients can make the HSA contributions and not have to worry about it. On top of income taxes, it's been an exciting year as well for sales taxes. The Supreme Court this year will be hearing several cases related to sales and income taxes with multi-state issues. As things stand right now, the Quill case is the law of the land, and it has to do with nexus and physical presence and things like that. But now the Supreme Court will be hearing a case this summer. In fact, it was heard, arguments were made before the Supreme Court on the 17th of April, and we should be getting a decision on that, I hope sometime in July or August. They're working toward getting economic nexus. If Congress would pass a law to satisfy these requirements, we wouldn't have to keep going back and forth with the courts. Kudos to the tax software companies who were able to keep up with all the changes that had to be made this year. All things considered, with the software and things, I think it was a good tax season. Once again this year, getting K-1s was difficult, and at the last minute, it caused a lot of extensions because some of the K-1s didn't come in to the very end and the beginning of April, and we weren't able to get all those returns finished up. I didn't see as many corrected 1099s this year coming out of the brokerage houses, so a big thank you to them for getting it right. Now's the time to reflect on this past tax season. Think of the things that you can do to change make next tax season better. I'm sure as you went through it, you found lots of things that it's like, oh, geez, that's something that we should be doing. And now's the time to get it down in writing so that next tax season, it'll be in place so that you can move a little smoother, hopefully. When you wait until you take too much time off and you wait until November to get started preparing for next year's tax season, this past tax season is so far out of your mind that you forget a lot of those things. So why don't you take some time and have a partner retreat, an owner retreat, and just sit down and evaluate the good, the bad, and the ugly of your own personal tax season and see what you can do to get your staff better trained and educated, as well as yourself, to make next year's a little bit better. For those of you that weren't able to attend the tax cut seminars that we had in January for the new tax law, we are going to be having some classes both in Ocean City and in Baltimore this summer to get you up to date on those classes. So you really should consider taking one of those classes. This new tax law changes everything. It is a complete game changer. There's so much in there that you need to make yourself aware of that you really should take a class. I'm also recommending a book that I purchased last year. It comes from Thomson Reuters, and it covers the new tax act. And in the back of the book, it gives you some sample letters that you can retype and edit and modify to meet your clients' needs and send out letters to your clients to keep them informed of the new tax act. One of the things that you want to do, if you can this summer, is try to generate some billable hours for yourself, because going over all these changes will help you to get billable hours to your clients to give them some tax strategies and advice. But speaking about billable hours, at the Solo and Small Firm Conference every year, there's many discussions that take place about, do you bill by the hour or do you value bill, and things like that. So in November, we'll be having our Solo and Small Firm Conference again in Bethany Beach this year. And if you've looked at any of the things, the literature that's come out on that, the price may look a little high, but when you think about it, it really isn't that bad. It's all inclusive. It's your hotel, meals, entertainment, and your education. And on top of that, it gives you an opportunity to interact on a more closely, sitting down with your fellow accountants and having a drink, playing a game, and talking about each of your practices. Developing those relationships is really important because as an accountant, you can't possibly know everything about everything. And even though we like to think we're smarter than everybody else, that's an opportunity for you to develop relationships with people who may have expertise in an area that you're weak in. So now you've got some built-in help with one of the society members. And as you become friends and everything, you don't have to worry about them trying to steal your clients and things like that. We're all here to help each other. We don't need to be cutting each other's throats in this. So it makes it really nice to develop those relationships. For those of you who have had enough of the accounting business and have decided you want to retire or just get out and go find a real job, MSA is starting a new program where we're trying to bring recent CPA graduates or people who have recently graduated and passed the CPA exam to a forum where we're going to give them some insight on starting their own practice. So this is an opportunity to get some sellers into the forum so that these people will have practices that will be available for them to buy. So if that's what you're looking to do, you might want to consider taking an active part in that session. As a member benefit, you can also place ads in the classified section of our newsletters. And this, if you're looking to sell, there's a great opportunity to get some ads out there because there might be other practitioners who want to expand their businesses. And as I said, the new CPAs who are coming out who might want to be starting a business. So there's a great opportunity for you. I want to go back to the continuing education for our staff and ourselves. MSA provides a whole lot of classes on the tax law and accounting, and we certainly want to offer you the classes that you need to make your practice run better. So if you find that there's things in the new education catalog that are coming out that don't necessarily meet your needs, you should contact us and we can try to provide a class for you. Because I promise you, if you're confused or lacking in something, you're not the only one. There's a lot of us out there who could use those classes to improve our practice and give our clients greater benefits. I also want you to know that this is your society. We're here to help you to build your practice. We're here to make you a better professional. We want you to be the top of the top, the best of the best. That's what the society is here for. And in order to do that, we need volunteers who will help assist us in getting these programs out and up and running. It's a lot of work goes into it. And as in every volunteer organization, you have 20 or 25 people who seem to always be involved in everything and do all the work. There's lots of jobs that you can do and help out as a volunteer that don't require a complete giving up of your business in order to work as a volunteer. That's not what we're looking for. Serving on a committee can really be helpful. It helps spread the workload out among everyone. I can remember my grandmother always saying, many hands make light work. And that couldn't be more true. The more people that we have that can get involved with our society, the easier it is on all of the volunteers. When I first got involved with MSATP, it was because I really wanted to give something back to the profession that's provided a pretty good life for my wife and I. We've been able to raise our children and educate them and take care of them, and it's been wonderful. And it really is the kind of thing that we need to give back to, because when you're giving back, you're really getting. And you should always remember, givers get. That's a great motto for all of these leads organizations and things like that, but it works all the way across the board. The more you give, the more you get. So I hope that you will help consider volunteering and helping with our mission and goals of the society. Now I would like to introduce Donnie, who's with USB. That's Donnie.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us today. My name is Donnie Lowell. I'm with USB Payment Processing, located in Towson, Maryland. Our offices are in Towson, Maryland, and we are a 22-year-old merchant processing and payments company that allow a lot of your clients, as well as your practice, the ability to accept payments electronically, either through a gateway and or credit card terminal. We've been in the Maryland area, like I said, for over 22 years now, and we are members of the MSATP. And our goal today, I want to tell you about an exciting new program that we're offering to all MSATP members in an effort to make sure that we create an additional value to your practice that can help your practice as well as some of your clients who you serve every day. We hear in our business daily that people want to talk to their tax professional and or financial professional about how or what they're paying via their credit card processing accounts. As Bill just suggested to you, with all the different changes that are going on within the tax code, there's much to know and a lot to understand within your own sphere of excellence or education. One of the things that we provide for every one of our tax professionals is the ability to create a simple assessment of, can you provide that service without having to know all the things that we know on the merchant side, which includes interchange, PCI compliance, and a host of other items that we daily keep up with in our continuing education to be professionals at in our particular craft. The program that we've put together, we feel, and we're very excited about, allows you to create a value to you and your clients by providing a service that there's very little heavy lifting that needs to be done. But your clients are going to ask you questions, certainly within the payment space. There's a lot of nuances that are going on with EMV, with PCI compliance, with interchange assessments. What does that mean? Do I have a good rate? What can I do to better my situation? Those are all questions that they look to you for answers for. Our solution is a simple one. We call it a refer a client program. It allows accounting and tax professionals to request a free payment processing quote, and we do that in 3 easy steps. Step 1, we ask you to just email us a minimum of 2 months worth of your client's current payment processing statements to statements with an S at usbne.com, the subject line MSATP client proposal request. Please remove the name and address of the client, as we always work through the tax professional for all communications. In the email, if you could include the industry type, whether it be retail, restaurant, could be internet-based transactions. Please remove if you include that within your email, so we understand how they're taking their particular transactions. If you allow, the step 3 would be, if you allow 2 to 3 hours for a complete analysis, no cost, we send it back to you, and then the tax professional yourself can take a look at it and assess whether or not there is enough of a savings to pass on to your client, where you say, hey, this might be something I want to bring to their attention. It's it's an easy process. You dictate the terms of what works for you, what doesn't. In some cases, your customer may say to you, hey, this looks interesting. Let's take a second look at this. As someone who is our company has extended relationships with a number of community banks, and we have displayed our excellence in terms of the services that we provide. Many of our customer service reps are here in the Maryland area. We have about 11 people whose jobs it is to answer phones daily to make sure that your questions are answered. So by doing so, you're going to have this additional value-added service with a service that you can provide to your clients to drive down their expense. Because as we know, as Bill just aforementioned, there are a lot of changes that are going on today within the tax code. Can we help by providing this particular value add with no heavy lifting for you guys? If it works for your client, if it works for you, we feel like we can drive down the expense that many of the people are feeling every single day because they're doing business with, out-of-state providers and payment processors. Again, my name is Donnie Lala. Our phone number at USB is 408-28-4286. And I do thank Sandy and Bill for having me today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, there you go. We had a little rough start this morning, but I'm glad we all got it all smoothed out. Love technology. I want to personally thank Donnie and Bill for taking the time to be with us this morning. I think they both provided some great information, and I appreciate their time. Next week, we were going to be hearing about how MSATP is working with the young professional and also a little bit about financial literacy. I want everyone to have a great day. Remember, we still have tickets available for the O's and Nationals game on Wednesday, May 30th. I know they're not doing the great job that we want them to be doing, but let's support both of our local teams, and we'll see. Hopefully you can join us on May 30th. And I think that we're done. And thank you so much for joining us this morning. Have a wonderful day.